Hello everybody, this is Bruce Music here, and I'm here with my great friend Darren Eden.
Hi Bruce, hi everyone.
And Darren's just driven all the way up from wherever he lives, which is a couple of hours away, right?
Yeah, Devon, just south of Exeter. Yeah.
To London, to come and say hi, and I asked him to, since we had the video camera here, if he wouldn't mind sharing some of his great knowledge with you. Darren is an expert in intuition. I've attended his seminar, which totally rocked my world. And if you've been following my blog, you'll see I've interviewed him once in the past. So take some pens and paper, take some notes. This is going to be amazing, I'm sure, because pretty much everything Darren does is awesome. And thanks for being here, bro.
Oh, mate, it's a pleasure. You know, I really honour you and acknowledge you for, you know, taking the time out, not just to interview me, but, you know, just the work you do is just extraordinary. It makes such a difference to so many people's lives.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
cool.
Really cool.
Thank you. Well, why don't we start off by telling everybody a little bit about your story and how you got into intuition and what it is you do.
Sure. I've always been a student. I've always loved both success and spirituality. And ever since I was young, I loved business, I loved money, I loved economics, I loved commerce.
They're kind of perceived
politics.
as being opposite, aren't they?
I know, yeah. It's like, because I also grew up as a Catholic, you know, when I was younger. And there's this saying, which a lot of the Catholics will know, that it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get to heaven. You know, and I could never figure that out.
Wow. Talk about a program.
Yeah, why can't rich people go to heaven as well?
Yeah, yeah.
The thing is, I've always had this passion for success, but I've always had this passion for spirituality and exploring all these different realms of spirituality, all these different forms of spirituality. And, you know, I have done so much, but it really came to when I started, came across this guy called William Whitecloud back in '98. When, at a time when I've kind of had enough. I've become a bit of a workshop junkie, I must admit.
Yeah.
And he said to me, look, if you just develop your intuitive ability, it'll all come together. And I did this course with him, and I started to master my intuitive ability, which really is just mastering your imagination. You know, there are a lot of different definitions or descriptions of intuition, but to me it's just your imagination. It's that simple.
I would agree with you, totally.
Yeah. And I realised that the people who live extremely extraordinary lives...
Extremely extraordinary lives?
Yeah, extremely extraordinary lives. They have this beautiful balance between success and spirituality.
Yeah.
Like two people who I love, who are on the world stage at the moment living an amazing life. One's Richard Branson, the other one's Steve Jobs. A lot of people know
Apple, Steve Jobs from Apple.
Yeah, Steve Jobs co-founded Apple and Pixar Animation, actually. And everyone knows Richard Branson, Virgin. And the thing that they have in common is they've discovered what they love, and they use their imagination to create that. They've just, regardless of the obstacles that they've encountered, they've gone, this is what I love, and I'm going to use my imagination to make that happen, to bring it to life. And if you just, honestly, if you look at everyone who's truly successful, you know, guys like Walt Disney, people like Beatrix Potter, J.K. Rowling, they've all gone, this is what I love, and I'm going to devote my imagination to creating that. And I realised that's the secret to success. And the real linchpin to discover what you love and give power to your imagination is to learn to develop your intuitive ability.
Got it.
You know? So to me, that's what life's all about now.
So you go around and travel around the world teaching people how to develop their intuitive ability.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you guys watching this, I attended Darren's seminar. It was a 3-day seminar called The Initiation, probably about a month ago now. And it really was extraordinary. We had a direct experience of accessing our intuition. I remember sitting opposite a partner, and this person I'd never met before, never really spoken to before, other than probably a hello at the tea break. And trusting my intuition and trusting my imagination, which is what you were teaching us to do throughout the whole weekend, I was telling this person things about their life that I had no idea whether they were accurate or not. But this person was confirming to me that everything I was saying was spot on, and their jaw dropped and my jaw dropped. And I mean, this was the whole entire seminar was doing this, and we were all left the seminar going, wow, we are so much more powerful than, you know, we give ourselves credit for from a day-to-day, you know, on a day-to-day basis. And if we follow our intuition, it'll lead us to our natural success easily. Like the you know, as Roger Hamilton calls it, the path of least resistance. You know, so carry on. Well, I mean, I guess Tell me how you'd apply something like this in your life. How do you practically bridge spirituality and business, or bring your intuition into your life? I mean, can you give me an example? Or?
Yeah, sure. Well, do you happen to have a potato and a straw here at all?
A potato on a straw?
No, not on a straw. Is this a menu item? Sorry.
Australians can't speak English.
Can you imagine that? Imagine a potato on a straw. No, have you got...
Potato and a straw?
Yeah, you happen to have a potato and a straw.
Yeah.
I did actually say that, by the way, but South Africans, they don't quite understand English. Great. Fantastic, Chris.
There you go, dude.
So here we are.
We're learning about potatoes and straws.
A very humble potato and a very humble straw. Now, what I want to demonstrate is the difference between living from assumptions and living from imagination, and the end results that you create. Because obviously, you can determine if you're living an extraordinary life by the end results you create.
Yeah.
It's all about your end results, you see. And your imagination serves creating extraordinary end results, and end results that kind of take you beyond what you think is possible.
Okay.
So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this straw through this potato.
You're going to hurt my potato?
I didn't know it had feelings, but anyway.
Everything's energy, you know. Go gentle with my potato.
I may hurt this potato. There may be some potatoes that were harmed in the course of doing this video.
Okay.
Anyway, so...
I have no idea what he's going to do right now. I'm kind of intrigued.
Yeah. So whenever you approach anything, the first thing you do is you approach it from your assumptions. You know, and so the first thing that you might assume is it's not possible.
What's not possible?
Putting a straw through a potato.
You're going to put a straw through a potato?
Yeah, I'm going to put this straw through this potato. So that's a obvious assumption, you know.
Okay.
And then just say you go past that assumption, you go, well, okay, well, I'm going to put this straw through this potato. Then unconsciously, you don't necessarily think this, but unconsciously go, what do I have to do? What do I believe I need to do to get this straw through this potato?
Guys, you may want to go and get a potato and a straw. In fact, pause this video right now, go and grab yourself a straw, and go and grab yourself a potato, get a chunky one, and do this along with us.
Yeah, what a great idea.
And come back in a moment.
Yeah, because to have the experience yourself is one thing to see me do it.
Yeah.
And I'll get Bruce to do it in a moment as well.
Oh.
But then, yeah.
I didn't know that either.
And for you to do it as well, you really get to see how different it is when you live from your assumptions versus living from your imagination.
Okay, great. Let's do this thing.
The first thing that I really want to point out is that I'm in my assumptions right now. You know, I'm here, I'm demonstrating in front of you, and in front of you it's like my assumptions are coming up. And the first assumption is that I don't think I'm going to be able to do it with an audience. And that's the first thing that I always do, is I acknowledge my assumptions. I don't assume I'm a superhero.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just an ordinary person, just like you, just like you.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to firstly do is in my assumptions, I'm going to attempt to put the straw through the potato.
Okay.
And see what result I get. Okay. I also assume now that I'm about to do it that I've got to do it hard to get it through.
Okay, hard work.
Yeah. So in order to be good enough, in order to be good enough, I've got to do this quite hard. So let's see how we go. You know,
That didn't work.
It crumpled a little bit, and you know.
Hang on. You can see its nest.
Yeah. So now, what I'm going to do, I'll just turn the straw on the other side, is I'm going to get myself a steel reinforced straw. No, just kidding.
I don't have those lying around.
Now what I'm going to do is, instead of just staying with my assumptions, now that I've acknowledged my assumptions, I'm going to start using my imagination. And the way you use your imagination to engage your intuition and engage this greater part of you is you imagine the end result. Like, I'm going to do this by imagining the straw already through the potato. And then as I'm doing it, I'm just going to keep imagining the straw through the potato. Now, having said that, I don't care if it doesn't go through. Mm-hmm. This is actually an interesting point. When I'm in my assumptions, I have a real investment in it going through, because I think it means something about me. If it doesn't go through, I'm not good enough. And so then that reinforces my assumption. Whereas I don't care if it doesn't go through. And I'll talk more about that in a moment if it doesn't. because if it doesn't go through, I'm just going to imagine the end result again and go for it again. And that's
I hope that I have some more straws.
Well, yeah. But see, that's the secret to the success of these people like Richard Branson and Steve Jobs. It doesn't matter if they've failed, and they've failed so many times. They just keep reimagining what they want.
This is a great
go
metaphor.
for it again.
I'm loving this. This is a great metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on with it.
Okay, so I'm just going to close my eyes for a moment, and I'm just, in my imagination, I'm imagining the straw through the potato. And already my assumption is kicking in, going, the straw's going to go through my hand. But just to acknowledge that, the whole time, I just acknowledge it. And I'm just imagining the straw through the potato, on the other side of the potato. And you imagine it all the way through. And what happens, you just get a sense of when to do it. You just keep imagining it, and then suddenly your natural ability cuts in. So we'll see how we go.
Wow! Dude!
How's that, hey?
Guys, evidence. He did it. Look, can you see? It's sticking out the other side. There's the...
Actually hurt my hand.
Dude, that's awesome.
I don't care if it hurt my hand. It doesn't matter. But see, there you go. And that's the difference. Whereas before, I barely made it a third of the way through.
True.
Whereas this time, it's gone all the way through.
And what you were doing here was imagining it already through. Not imagining it going through,
Exactly,
but imagining it already done. And for those of you who've kind of purchased my Relaxation for Manifestation product, that's what I teach you straight away, is imagining the end result as if whatever your goal is has already happened. And that's the perfect example. And if you hope you don't mind if I steal this little demonstration and use it every now and then, because I think it's fantastic.
Go for it.
Absolutely. I will credit you with it, but it's awesome.
Mate, go. So, that being said, why don't you have a go, Bruce?
Okay. Do I need to get another straw?
Yeah, I'd get another straw and another potato. Look, there just happens to be one just there.
I bought two. Okay. So, first I'm just going to whack it, right?
Yeah,
just to kind of...
Let's just explore it. What are you assuming you need to do?
Well, this feels pretty hard to me. And if you've got your own potato, you're doing this with me, you know what I'm talking about. Potatoes are not kind of soft, so I'm just going to kind of... It feels like a rock.
Yeah, there you go.
And, well, that certainly didn't go anywhere through, and I bent the straw. So that probably went, I don't know, half the way through. So
are you aware of what else you're assuming about what you believe you needed to do to get that straw through the potato?
Kind of whack it hard, but also scared if I whack it hard I'm going to bend the straw, and that's actually going to be worse. Center it, not hit my hand. No.
Cool.
That's probably about it.
All right, cool.
All right, let's turn the potato over.
So now this time, same thing. Now just imagine the end result of it.
Make sure I've got enough in there to actually make it through.
Yeah, and just keep that picture in your mind that you've already got that straw through the potato. You can even imagine holding it up, having successfully done it.
Okay.
And just keep that image in your mind, and then whenever you're ready, whenever you feel compelled, just go ahead and put the straw through. Okay, this is good. So,
it
actually
it came up. I did it! Wow, that is cool.
That's awesome. It actually did go through, guys.
It did. It's just sticking out the other side, right over there. See, there it is. There's the little red part of the straw.
It's like, doesn't matter how much it goes through, as long as it goes through.
I made it happen. Dude, that's awesome.
Now, the thing that, in observing you, there was such a pronounced difference. I'm sure you guys saw it as well, is that you were so calm, so centered, and it was so effortless.
It was. I didn't even push hard.
No, it was a real gracefulness in you doing it. It was amazing. Whereas the first time, there was actually some trepidation.
Yeah,
and it
totally.
was like...
And I was disappointed at the end because I thought it hadn't gone through.
I was almost going to say, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's okay. We'll get in the end.
There it is.
And here's the other thing, and this is what I'm a firm believer in, is that relaxation is a key part to success. And I know you can't access intuition without being relaxed either. It's the same going through life and in success, you know. If you're stressed and tensed out, your mind stops functioning, and the energy resource that you have gets used up. Your mind uses up all your energy, has you sleeping at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because you're too tired to go to go on, and all those kind of things. And when you can just take relaxed, graceful. In fact, I took my first Tai Chi class last Saturday. I've got another one this Saturday, tomorrow. I'm doing a Tai Chi class again. And that was all about doing graceful movements. It was the same thing, the maximum amount of effect for the minimum amount of energy exertion. And our teacher tried to get us to push him over, and we couldn't, because he just kept on doing these graceful movements, and he just flowed with us, and we couldn't push him over. And there were some big guys in the class, you know. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, this is amazing.
It is amazing. And I did a number of different exercises like that as well. And you realise as soon as you start engaging your imagination, you engage something so much more powerful.
So much more powerful. So how did it go with you guys at home?
Yeah, give it a go.
Did you get it through? If not, here's what I recommend you do. What I was doing there, I just closed my eyes, took a couple of deep breaths. Breathing is a great way to get your system to relax. Relax your shoulders. I often imagine breathing in energy and breathing out tension like black smoke. So I'm breathing in invigorating energy, and then I imagine breathing out black smoke, which is the metaphorical way of telling my mind to get rid of the tension. Breathe out the tension. Let my shoulders drop. Close my eyes. Relax every part of my body. And then I just imagined the straw going through the potato, already being through the potato, so sticking out the other side. That was what I was imagining.
Yeah.
Give it a go, see how it goes. Now, we aren't going to have a lot more time, so I really want to tell people how they can get in touch with you. I know you have a free recording that you give away to people. What is it, and how can they get it? If you want to learn from Darren, listen up now and write this down.
Well, as I mentioned before, for me, life is all about how can you create a more extraordinary life. And what tends to happen when people like Steve Jobs or Richard Branson, in their pursuit of creating an extraordinary life, they end up creating a vehicle, which you call a business, to channel that extraordinariness through, the magnificence through. And so what I've done is I've put this recording together of how to use your intuition in business. And it's so cool because it's all about how to train your imagination in the context of business.
And it's free.
And it's free, absolutely.
Great. Well,
the thing
where do they get it?
Well, you can go to my website, darreneden.com and /intuition, and you'll get that recording straight on your browser.
Awesome.
Because the thing is, I love talking about intuition in the context of business, because business is just a matter of choices. Yeah. And what choice you make will steer your business in one direction or another. Yeah. And it makes such a difference when you're making choices from your imagination, which tends to lean towards what's true and will take you to what you love, as opposed to making choices from your assumptions. Most people make choices in business from their assumptions.
And thank you for that. That's awesome. And I know you're doing a talk coming up soon, and that's also free.
Absolutely.
He's giving away all this free stuff. So if any of you are in the UK, make sure you get down to Darren's talk. It's going to be in London, right?
Yes.
Where and when? And
it's in London on the 1st of October. It's called The Secret to Creating a Magical Life, and Central London. And the whole purpose of doing that is to give you this personal and powerful experience yourself about how to shift from your assumptions to your imagination. I'll be doing some amazing exercises so that when you walk away from that, it's alive in you.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that I love about the work that I do, and it's so important for me, is that people can take it away with them and use it in their life.
And that's the thing I really respect about you, and that's the thing I loved about your seminar, was that it was filled with exercises. We had 3 days that were, I would say half of the seminar was exercises. Half of it was Darren teaching, and the other half was doing exercises, practically experiencing our intuition, and to the point where, I think a lot of people really saw that, some people would say that they're all psychic, that we're all psychic. Absolutely. And we can all access information about the past, the future, about things that are remote. And for those of you going, this sounds a little bit woo-woo, well, I recommend you come along on the 1st of October and just check it out for yourself, because you're going to walk out there at the end. If you're going to be doing the exercises, I think you are. You're going to walk out of there at the end actually having experienced yourself being quote-unquote psychic, having really accessing your intuition to the point where you're able to predict things or say things about people that you know nothing about, and it's going to be pretty freaky and exciting.
See, my mission in life is to ignite people's imagination, Because when you ignite people's imagination, you ignite their passion, you ignite what they love, and you ignite this pathway that suddenly opens up of possibility.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what people really get from that night. That your imagination will be ignited. You'll be so turned on by the power that's inside you,
Yeah.
and what's possible for you to create,
Yeah.
and that you'll know that having an extraordinary life is possible for you. It's all well and good to go, oh yeah, that's good for the likes of Steve Jobs and
Yeah.
Richard Branson.
Very good.
But it's possible for each and every one of us. Yeah.
Great. Well, I want to thank you. Thanks for coming all the way up. I know it's a couple of hours drive up from
it's
where
a
you
pleasure.
live, and it's just such an honor to have you here in my house, in my life, and thanks for donating your time to do this video. That's
It's a
awesome.
pleasure, Bruce. Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Guys, hope you enjoyed this recording, and get down to Darren's talk on the 1st of October and go and download his free recording at darreneaton.com/intuition. I'll put the URL up on the screen. See you later.
See you, everyone.